you can animate the text warp feature, which is a pretty nifty little trick here inside Photoshop. You can take text in a non-warp condition and gradually shift it into a warp condition, and then gradually shift it back to a non-warp condition. The one little caveat here is that when you go from one warp setting to another warp setting, it won't happen gradually. It just jumps from one to the next. It works kind of like textures inside layer styles. But the fact that you can gradually shift from nothing to something and back again, that's pretty slick. So let's take a look at animating the text warp property by opening up a new project in Photoshop. Just open up Photoshop that way. I want to add a video background, so I click on the plus over here. I'm going to track down time-lapse 1. I like to use that as a background. It's inside the digital juice stock footage folder, inside the working files folder. Just double click on that. You can have any background you want, of course. I want to add text above this, so to do that, I just click over here in this disclosure triangle and click on New Video Group. With the playhead at the beginning like that, I can just get the type tool going and just click here and type in some new text, like, here is text. It may be a tad large there. I'll just press the Enter key, Control Command T, and we'll shrink it down a little bit like that. I think that'll work pretty well. It would be nice to have some kind of a style applied to that too, so I'll just press the Enter key and we'll double click on the T over here to select all that text, and I'm going to select this layer style over here. If you don't see your styles panel, just go up to Window, Styles to make that visible. So I'll click on that and change to that style. I like that look there against the clouds. I'm going to extend the length of the text here from 5 seconds to default to something longer so we can play with it a little bit more there. And now I want to animate the text warp. And to do that, I need to look at the text warp keyframes, and they're inside here. I can click this disclosure triangle there, or this one. They both work the same way, and there is text warp. I'm going to turn on keyframes for text warp here. Nothing is applied. There's no text warp applied to this, which is good. We're going to have it change over time. So I'm going to pull the playhead in a couple of seconds like that. And now we're going to change the text warp. So it starts from this, but changes gradually, which I think is just really a great feature. Click on the little T up here, that little text warp feature there, a little T on the mountain. There you go. Opens up the text warp dialog box. I'm going to change to something basic here, to the arc, like that. There you go. And click OK. And when I click OK, a keyframe is going to appear here because we've changed the condition of the warp. There we go. Let's go back to the beginning and watch this. Is this great? Look at that. It gradually changes over time. Wow. I mean, that is a great little feature here inside Photoshop. We can hold that now for a while to the end, let's say. So I do that by just bringing the playhead here and then clicking on this little diamond to the left here. That adds a keyframe that's equal to the second one. So we just go from that condition to that condition without changing anything. And now if I want to shift back to no warp, I just open up the text warp dialog box again, go back here and say none. There we go. And now it's going to change gradually. It's just a phenomenal thing. You get to go over here, and it gradually changes like that. You can hold it. I could change the position if I wanted to, the scale, the rotation, but nevertheless, we can do that and then warp it back down, unwarp the little guy. Pretty great. And keep in mind, you can also change styles along the way here. You can change opacity and also the transform properties. Okay, let's say we don't want to have it just go from this condition like that and have it drop back down to where it started. Let's say we want to go to another warp here. So I'm going to go right to that keyframe there. I'll navigate to it by clicking this little triangle there. It goes right to that keyframe. And so if I make a change here, it'll be at that point. It'll change that keyframe. I'm going to go back to the text warp, and I'm going to change it from an arc to something else. Let's say a flag like that, which would be neat if it could go gradually, right? I click OK, but it won't go gradually. It's going to go boom, 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 like that. So when you change the warp condition like this from one warp to another, it won't be this gradual interpolation, they call it. It won't be this gradual shift. It just jumps. In regular video editors, this would be called a hold keyframe. You go from one to another like that. But now we can gradually, though, shift to the beginning point, which is nice. You can gradually go back to the starting point. So when you go from one warp condition to another, it just jumps to it. I'll just show you one more example here. We'll go in the middle like this. We'll add a keyframe here by changing it, by going up here like that, and change it from an arc to something entirely different, like fish eye, like that. Pretty cool. Let's say we make it a little bit more of a distortion, like so. There we go. Add the bend even greater. Click OK. That adds a keyframe because we changed the condition. When we go to the left here, it goes to that one, goes to that one, and it holds till that one, and then goes to the end like that. So you can shift from a condition to no condition, but when you go from one type of a warp to another, it goes from one condition to another, as if these guys were hold keyframes. And there you go. That's how you animate the text warp feature.